You slide into the back seat, the door clicks shut, and you give the driver your destination. It's a simple act of trust, something millions of us do every single day. You trust this stranger to get you from point A to point B. But what happens when that trust is totally broken? What if the person behind the wheel isn't just a driver, but a predator? Or worse, what if the chilling presence you feel in the car with you isn't even human? Some taxi rides get you home safe, but others, they drive you straight into a real-life horror movie. From demonic drivers to ghostly passengers, these terrifying tales will make you think twice before you ever hail a cab again. In the early 1990s, New York City was being haunted by one of its most prolific serial killers, but almost no one knew it at the time. By day, Joel Rifkin was just an unassuming landscaper, but by night, he was a monster who preyed on the city's most vulnerable. He would often cruise the streets, sometimes even posing as a taxi driver, to lure women into his truck. They thought they were getting a safe ride, but they had just stepped into a death trap. Over a terrifying 4-year span, Rifkin confessed to murdering 17 women. He turned the simple act of catching a ride into a game of Russian roulette. His horrific spree only came to an end by pure chance. State troopers pulled him over for a missing license plate and discovered the body of his final victim in the back of his truck. The man they trusted to drive them was actually driving them to their graves. You expect a licensed driver to be safe, right? You assume the company they work for has checked them out. But for one woman in Cambridge, Massachusetts, that trust was shattered. In September 2022, after leaving a Boston nightclub, she hailed a cab for what should have been a normal ride home. The driver, Bereket Meshisha, was a licensed taxi operator. But instead of taking her home, he drove her to a deserted parking lot and sexually assaulted her in the back of the cab. The only reason he was caught was because a witness saw the attack happening and called the police. Officers arrived to find Meshisha standing outside his cab with his victim still inside. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the real danger comes from the very people we're supposed to be able to trust. Not all taxi horror stories are about the crimes of men. Sometimes the terror comes from something else, something not of this world. It's a story you'll hear from late-night drivers everywhere, from Singapore to Japan. One driver in Singapore back in 1997 kept noticing something weird. People would walk up to his cab, look inside, and then hurry away to the next one in line. He couldn't figure it out until he heard the local ghost stories. He realized people weren't just seeing him in the car. They were seeing an extra, invisible passenger in his front seat. And this isn't a one-off thing. After the devastating 2011 tsunami in Japan, tons of taxi drivers started reporting that they were picking up ghost passengers. These silent fares would ask to be taken to neighborhoods that didn't exist anymore, places completely wiped out by the waves. One driver told a story about a young woman who got in his cab and asked in a shaking voice, "Have I died?" before vanishing from the back seat. These encounters leave drivers with a cold dread, wondering who or what they just shared their car with. The world is full of these weird, unexplained moments hiding in plain sight. These stories are just a handful of reasons why you might want to check the back seat and the front before you get into a stranger's car. If you've had a scary experience in a taxi or a rideshare, share your story in the comments below. And if you want to hear more tales that live on that blurry line between normal and nightmarish, make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. A taxi is like a private room on wheels, a little anonymous bubble moving through the city. But that privacy goes both ways. You don't know the person driving you, and they don't really know you. So the next time you shut that door and give your destination, remember these stories. Remember that the journey you're about to take could be much, much darker than you ever imagined. Look at the driver, take a breath, and ask yourself, do you really feel safe?